10DANCE just reignited the entire figure skating conversation online. And immediately, people started asking the same question all over again. What actually happened to the Yuri on Ice movie? Ice Adolescence was announced, delayed, updated, and then officially canceled years later. And now that 10DANCE is finally getting its moment, those old questions are back. So let's walk through what actually happened, the confirmed timeline, the studio statements, and why 10DANCE's momentum has people revisiting a project that never made it to release. When Yuri on Ice aired in 2016, it didn't just succeed, it exploded. The series went global almost instantly, becoming one of the most talked about anime of the year. It wasn't officially labeled BL, but the relationship between Victor and Yuri pushed queer male romance into the mainstream in a way few anime had ever done before. Fans around the world connected to it, celebrated it, and treated it as a milestone. It wasn't just online hype either. Many viewers, this was the first time an sports romance had reached audiences this wide. And that's why what happened later, the years of silence, the delays, and eventually the cancellation, landed so hard. Because Yuri on Ice wasn't just an anime, it was a cultural moment. In 2017, the Ice Adolescence movie was officially announced, and at the time, fans assumed it would follow naturally after the success of the series. In 2019, the production committee confirmed the movie was being delayed. Their wording was simple. The team needed more time because they were expanding the content beyond the original plan. By 2020, the official account reassured fans that production was still ongoing. They said the movie wasn't ready for a release date yet, but work was continuing behind the scenes. And then, after years of silence, the confirmation finally came. In April 2024, the production committee and MAPPA announced that Ice Adolescence had been canceled due to various circumstances. And in 2025, producer Hideo Katsumata gave the only additional clarification anyone has ever offered. He said the project was canceled because of creative reasons, not business or financial issues. When Hideo Katsumata finally broke the silence in 2025, he was very clear. The movie didn't collapse because of money, scheduling, or MAPPA's workload. It collapsed because of creative disagreements. In anime industry terms, that usually means one thing. The creators, the studio, and the production committee could not agree on the direction of the movie. And the conflict became impossible to resolve. Katsumata described it as involving very private matters, and he emphasized that he could not share details. But he specified that the issue was entirely creative, not financial. Separate from that, MAPPA's CEO Manabu Otsuka has also said publicly that Yuri on Ice brought the studio minimal financial return compared to its success, which led MAPPA to shift toward projects where they owned more of the rights. Together, these two statements give the clearest confirmed explanation available. A creative breakdown behind the scenes, combined with MAPPA's change in long-term priorities, and not any of the rumors that circulated over the years. When the cancellation was announced, the reaction online was immediate and intense. On Reddit, fans marked the one-year anniversary of the cancellation with posts that were essentially collective grief. Many said they would take anything, a storyboard, a sketch, even an unfinished clip. Others described the movie as the end of an era, something they had waited for since 2017. On X, Twitter, people shared how deeply Yuri on Ice had shaped their teenage years, from watching episodes the moment they dropped, to debating whether Victor and Yuri's kiss was really a kiss. For many, Yuri on Ice was a safe place, a comfort show, and a landmark moment in queer-coded anime. Some revived older theories and speculation, but none of those have ever been confirmed. What is confirmed is the emotional truth. The cancellation hurt because Yuri on Ice meant something real to people, especially queer audiences who rarely saw this kind of relationship in mainstream sports anime. 10DANCE changed the entire conversation the moment its trailer dropped. A sensual, competitive, queer-centered story, finally getting a high-budget, prestige live-action adaptation after more than a decade. And because of that, fans immediately drew a line back to Yuri on Ice. Both projects sit in the same cultural space. Two male leads, high-level performance sports, intimacy expressed through physical movement, and a story that leans openly into desire. But while Adolescence stalled for years and ultimately collapsed under creative disagreements, 10DANCE is now moving forward with Netflix backing, a major director, and 2 mainstream actors. That contrast is what has people talking. One project couldn't survive the internal conflicts of its time. The other is thriving in a landscape that's finally more open to queer-centered sports stories. For many viewers, 10DANCE doesn't replace Yuri on Ice, but it shows how different things look in 2025 compared to 2017. At the end of all this, the confirmed picture is simple. Adolescence didn't disappear because of budget problems or lack of interest. The only verified reasons are the ones given by the people involved: creative disagreements behind the scenes, and MAPPA shifting its priorities toward projects where the studio had more control. No official source has confirmed anything beyond that. But even with so little closure, Yuri on Ice still left a mark. It changed conversations in 2016. It reshaped what fans expected from queer-coded sports stories. And its cancellation became a reminder of how fragile passion projects can be inside Japan's production committee system. And maybe that's the real takeaway. One story was lost, one finally found its way through. And together they show how much queer-centered sports narratives have had to fight just to exist. If this breakdown helped you see that picture a little clearer, consider liking or subscribing. I hope this pause in the chaos made you think. If it did, tell me. Does 10DANCE feel like the spiritual successor to a dream that never made it to screen? Or is it carving out a new lane entirely? Until next time, this is GPkP.